Hey guys, you are here with Faye from Raven Faye Special Effects, and today I'm going to show you how I make my life casts. Today I decided to life cast my very own twin brother, and he looks a little bit like this. So, this is my twin Jaeger. He's usually my model for almost every single thing I do, and finally I'm making a cast of his face so the prosthetics really fit his face. The other life cast I had was a little bit different, so this one will fit nice slender face there. Cool thing about this, I made sure to Vaseline him up, but he's still got some eyelash imprints in there and eyebrows, which is crazy, but I think it came out pretty good overall. There is something that I really wanted in a life cast, and I wanted to have a handle so I could do this. Just kidding. So I could like press it in whenever I actually make my foam latex prosthetics, which I'll show you, I'm sure, in plenty of other videos. But this is the handle in the back. It's a metal handle. Not gonna lie, I got it from a broom and I just broke it because I didn't really have anything and it was half-assing it, but it's fine. It's fine, right? Yeah, it's good. So this is the handle. Works pretty well. Hopefully it'll work well in the oven whenever I actually make a prosthetic. But we'll let you know from there. But this is the end result. This is the front of it. Came out really well. I am glad to say that at least I'll have my brother always with me. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm using 4-inch plaster bandages and I'm just layering them in layers of 3. So whenever I finish doing the alginate, I'll be able to make the plaster mold on the outside. Layering them out will make it a lot easier and having them set and ready to go. So we're putting a trash bag over him now. Gonna tape it down, make sure no alginate gets underneath it or nothing drops on his skin. And then I didn't have a bald cap, which I would usually do this part, so I just used Saran wrap. Kind of hope for the best. I think it ended up alright. Once that was all said and done, the Vaseline, which is a very important part, made sure to put it over any hairs that were showing, so eyebrows, sideburns, a little bit of his stash that was left over, eyelashes, and then making sure to put it in any crevices, so on the inner corner of the eye, around the nostrils, just to make sure that the alginate doesn't get stuck anywhere and it doesn't disform. So now we're going to mix up the alginate. I used about 4 ounces of powder and 1 pint of water, and that was enough to do just the face. Once that was all mixed up and creamy, I have about 8 minutes with 80-degree water for it to set up, because once it sets up it'll get sticky and stick to each other and fall apart. So I'm trying to move as fast as I can, making sure to layer it up and making sure to get around the sides of his face, around his mouth, just so I can get that detail, and making sure it's a nice smooth layer all over. I find it easier to work my way up going down, just so I'm not fighting gravity, and making sure to swipe up under the chin every so often. I also save the nose for last because I want him to be able to breathe as comfortably as he can. So now I'm just going over everything, making sure that I have enough alginate in the corner areas of his eyes and the sides of his nostrils, and making sure everything's smooth, because I know that it's about to set and start harden up and it won't be good to work with anymore. And once it gets hard, it's super easy to get off of your hands, so I just dumped it all in the trash can and took it off little remnants with paper towels, so I was ready to go. So now I'm going to show her how to use the plaster bandages. Basically, you're going to pick it up, it's already in its layers of 3, you're just going to set it in and then wring it out so it's ready to go, and she's going to hand them to me from there. So I had my friend Gabby assisting me. It makes it so much easier to have an assistant. I tried to do a torso by myself and that was really difficult. So having those bandages wet and ready to go, I made it a lot quicker and smoother process. So I'm starting my way up, going bottom as you see, and I'm just layering across the head, making sure to leave the nostril part apart. And then I'm putting one on the bottom jawline area that you just saw, and now starting to do the sides of the face. Going horizontal first and then vertical. And I'm probably going to end up doing about 3 layers altogether. So paying special attention to the nose area, the eye area, because I want to make sure that it's indented there. And so now that we're getting to the end of it, I have already 2 or 3 pieces set aside for the nostril area. And I'm just going to make a little bow and just place them Now once that's all said and done, you got to make sure to not wash your hands in the sink. I have a little tub with water and a gallon of water on the side ready to wash my hands because this stuff will be terrible for your drains, so you don't want to do that. Now that it's up basically ready to take off, I've already gone over with my model that he needed to start breathing and puffing his cheeks, which will make it come off a lot better. And then taking all the plastic off so he can breathe. And you can see all the detail. I always think it looks so cool like that. Now that I'm ready to go to the next stage, I'm putting a little more alginate through the nostril holes so I can try to keep that negative space of the nostril in the actual cast when it comes to that. Scraped off any alginate that was on the outside, putting some more plaster just so no other plaster leaks through. Oh, this is that broom I did, guys. Hopefully it works out, but I just hammered it together because I know I wanted a handle and that's all I could really find. So now we're going to mix that plaster doing the Dry Lakebed Method. Basically I have my water set up. I'm just making sure it gets nice and hard at the top to where there's white on top, and then I mixed it and then I'm slowly pouring it in. This process actually took really long because it stayed really liquidy for a long time. I kind of jumped ahead in this next scene to show you when it was ready to start to carve out and shape the plaster that was in it the way I wanted it to be. And then now I'm putting that handle in, and you can already see it's starting to harden up. It's kind of like a putty form right now, and I'm just building the wall on the outside of the bar, and then I'm going to scoop in the inside and bring it to the outside just so I can make sure that that's a nice thick edge, because I know it's going to have that negative space in the middle of the face. For me, this was a very tedious part, but I had Gabby helping me, thank God. And she was mixing alginate and helping me mold it up on the outside to give it that exact shape that I wanted. I think it kind of looks like a fruit, like an empty fruit. I don't know what's going on. It's getting harder and harder to work with as time goes on because it's starting to set up, and it's going to be super hard because, well, it's plaster. But once all said and done, cleaned off in my little bowl, my little tube, and then ready to go on to the next step, which is demolding it, I guess you would say. That plaster piece was super easy to get off. The alginate I wanted to try to get off smoothly, but it just tore, so that was that. Alright, how did y'all like that? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if, I don't know, maybe you do something different. Honestly, I've never had any training in this stuff. I'm just learning the way you guys do off reading books and YouTube and everything like that. Let me know what you thought about the video. Anywho, hope you guys liked that video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos like this, because obviously more subscribers means more encouragement for me to do cool stuff. Right? Yeah? Yeah. And as always, check you later.